Chris Walker, Emergency Preparedness Coordinator with the Hamilton County Health Department, joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
We're starting to see an uptick in numbers nationwide. How are we doing with our positive tests here locally?
Yeah, we are seeing a small uptick here in the county. Nothing extreme that I'd worry about, but it's definitely something we're keeping an eye on, especially as we move into spring break throughout the county and things like that. Definitely a concern and definitely something we'll be watching at the county level.
Vaccinations opened this morning to those who were 30 and older. How's that going so far? Were we ready for that?
We were ready, and I think we'll continue to see the age drop. Our goal here is to be open to 16 and older in just a few days. So I think they're just trying to stagger it out a little bit to help make sure that the infrastructure stays intact while we're conducting vaccination operations and people are registering.
You did mention that opening to 16 and older on Wednesday. There are some things that people need to keep in mind if they're registering their kids who are 16 and 17. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we need to remember that 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds are still considered minors and need parental consent in order to get a vaccine. That's one issue that I don't know that the state has necessarily come out with the guidance for vetting that information, how that's going to work, if the parent's going to be required to go or if they can electronically sign. That's one of those to keep an eye on. The other thing to remember is that right now, Pfizer is the only vaccine that is cleared to be used on 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds. Moderna and Johnson & Johnson are both for 18 and older while they do their clinical trials. So when they do get a chance to register, it'll be imperative that they find a Pfizer-specific vaccination site.
We've seen a lot of these mass vaccination clinics opening. They're doing it again in the IMS. Are we having any discussion about doing something like that here in Hamilton County?
Yes, we are. We're looking at potentially two different sites, probably the same weekend. Right now, we're looking at as early as the weekend after Easter, so that'd be the 10th and 11th. We're still working on the logistical details, so there's not a whole lot to say about it. But we do expect to have at least one Johnson & Johnson clinic on that weekend, as well as possibly another vaccine clinic as well.
We are paying close attention to the fact that the statewide mask mandate becomes simply an advisory on April 6th. We've been getting a lot of questions at the health department about whether or not we're planning to extend that mandate like Marion County has. What can you tell us?
Sure. So I can tell you that we've been meeting with our commissioners, our county commissioners, and we're also meeting with our health board to help provide recommendation, provide guidance, and to work together to figure out what's best for Hamilton County. And one thing we will be waiting for is the governor's executive order to see exactly what he has spelled out in there to see if we need to add anything to that. I do know that we have said for the next 30 days, it will be required, people will be required to wear a mask in county buildings. I don't know what, if anything, we will do beyond that countywide. But the number one thing I would emphasize is that if you're a business owner and you feel that that's the prudent measure is to continue wearing masks, by all means, please feel free to encourage your staff and your clients to wear their masks. Additionally, if you're a customer at a business and you think you should be wearing your mask, by all means, wear your mask. This isn't a case where if the government tells you you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. You are more than welcome to wear your mask, even if it's not mandated by the government.
I think it's also important to reiterate the fact that although it is a mask advisory, it is still a mandate to wear one inside a testing location in a vaccination clinic.
That's correct. We do still require people to wear their masks, exactly like you said, in a testing site as well as the vaccination clinics.
So everybody's starting to leave on spring break this week. Any final words of caution before we send them out into the great beyond?
Please wear your masks. Please socially distance. We talked heavily about that last week. Wherever you go, you're bringing back a little piece of that with you, and that little piece may not present for 14 days after you get back. And think of all the places that you will have gone in those 14 days upon your return and all the people that you could potentially be exposing. And to please use caution and please, be cognizant of that.
Fantastic. That's Chris Walker with the Hamilton County Health Department. We'll check back with you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.